Good day, I hope you're doing well. Today we'll be taking a look at programming's part 3 of the portfolio of evidence. So as part 1 and part 2 was chatbot for cybersecurity, we have modernized that into a WPF application from a console-based application. This is to ensure more ease of use and just to have a more modern look to it and feel to it as well. So as you can see, we have a WPF application here. Only 3 windows that we worked off of just to simplify the code behind it. So I think I will run the program and then explain some of the features that the code has behind it and what my thought process was. So we have kept the name, the redeemer, and as you can see, we are greeted by a welcome screen, and the focus has automatically been set to the text insert box, so we can just immediately start typing. The user will input their name, and we've also added a bit of code where we don't have to click the continue button, we can just hit enter, and boom, we are on the main chat window of this cybersecurity assistant. As you can see, it is quite simple. We've got our chat window, we've got a welcome with the user's inputted name at the top right. So we've kept all the functionality, or most of the functionality from part 1 and part 2. That being said is sentiment detection, keyword detection, and so forth. There were 1 or 2 things that was removed, like the voice greeting, only because I did not see a place for it in such an application, it being modernized as such. So, when a user is here, they'll obviously click what can I ask, or it can also be typed out, and the chatbot will respond with a list of topics that you can type out. Also, you can also ask about the cybersecurity quiz or task manager. Type show activity log to see what I've done so far, and then obviously what topic would you like to explore. So if we just type data backup, it responds with a list of data backup strategies, and if we would like to continue further, we can also type in social media, and it will also give us a response on social media security, and so forth. That is basically the chatbot in a nutshell. However, as you can see, there are a few more buttons on the left side. We are currently in the conversation window, but we can type in task manager, and we are taken to the task window. Obviously, we can just click the buttons as well, but if you want to type it out, you can do that. Now, when we want to add a task, we have a required title, required description, and then an optional reminder for that. So we'll start by typing down a task. We'll say add to FA, and description will be increase security. Okay, we can add that task, and as you can see, it's added to a list down here. The counter for total tasks has been affected, and then we will add 2 more tasks just to demonstrate what this window is capable of. Review security. Also, while this is going on, you can see an occasional pop-up that is present on all windows, just to remind the user that there are tasks to be completed, but we'll get into the functionality of that in a bit. And the description is just to improve general security. And then we can set a reminder for it. As you can see, we have a functional calendar, and then we'll add the task. As you can see, the title, description, and then the reminder is also present. We'll add 1 more task. This doesn't matter. We'll just have it as placeholder. And there we go. So every time a task is added, this counter is affected, as well as its total tasks at the bottom of this window. If we tick a box, the counters are influenced. We still have 3 total tasks, but 1 of them is completed and 2 of them are remaining. As you also saw, the counter at the top left with a notification has also been influenced. So we can click clear completed tasks and only the checked task will disappear and the counter is still 2 tasks to complete. Now if you want to click what can I ask, an info window will appear. We can only ask about this in the conversation window. So we go back here. As you can see, all our progress has been saved. The windows do not refresh, which is exactly what we want. Also, if we go back to the task window, it's the exact same thing. It's not been cleared or refreshed. Another small feature I forgot to mention is on the conversation window, we've got an auto scroll. So wherever the messages end, it automatically scrolls. So the user doesn't have to worry about that. Now, one of the things that we also needed to add was a cybersecurity quiz. And you can either click the button or you can just type in quiz and then you're automatically taken there. Now, this was actually built on top of the main window. It's just so that the transition is smoother. I should have done that for managed tasks as well, but I fear the amount of code in one file would have been too much. Okay, so we've got 10 questions here. There are 15 total behind the window. That's just to randomly select a few. As you can see, we've got a few things that are going to be touched on. And yeah, we'll just start the quiz. So as you can see, we've got a quiz topic and then a difficulty, 2 stars meaning medium. And depending on the difficulty of a question, the amount of points you get per question are influenced. Okay, so I'm not going to try and answer this correctly. I'm just going to show you the functionality behind it. So which is the most effective way to handle suspicious email attachments. So don't open them at all. And then we've got our feedback window. So it says correct and then also just a bit of extra information. Click next question, got another medium question and so forth. You will see how this unfolds. We can also full screen this. Maybe that will be a better user experience. It's optional though. So as you can see, when we get a question wrong, we also have a feedback response. And we will just go through this so you can see what happens. Okay, the quiz is completed. As you can see, there has been a final score of 70 out of 140, which is obviously 50%. And depending on the user's score, there will be a message and as well a little photo here. Security beginner, consider additional cybersecurity training. And then you can click back to chat or restart the quiz. So yeah, if you restart the quiz, remember there's 15 questions, 10 of them will be randomly selected and shuffled. So there is little repetition, if that makes sense. So we can just click back to chat and then we're back here. Another thing that we can do is, as you saw in the what can I ask button and the list that's generated, you can also type show activity log to see what the chatbot has done so far. So let's do that. That was one of the features that was required. Show activity log and then chat history of recent actions. So this is quite important and only the last 5 tasks will be shown. However, if we type in show more, all of the tasks are now being displayed. So this is from the beginning, open task manager, added tasks, marked as completed. As you can see, that is everything we have done so far. Okay, so that is pretty much all the functionality of this chatbot WPF application. As you can see, the notifications still appear. Just type in exit and we will exit the program. Okay, now I'm going to just go through some of the code, not all of it, since I feel I have explained most of it while going through the application. I think we will start with the welcome window is really simple, there's not much to it, you just set the focus and then capture the user's name. Okay, then we will go over to the main window. This is where most of the code is stored. As you can see, this is quite a big class, hence why I did not add the tasks window code in here. Here we have our keywords detection, same as part 2 of the POE. Got our sentiment detection, intent detection. There is a few things I wanted to show. This is our list of what can I ask, navigation, properties, and then also every time the user types in quiz or task manager, the chatbot will also respond with it's opening it or it has been opened. This is just event handlers and array of responses for the user. So there's not much things that were added here except for the quiz functionality, which I will get into. And here's the methods for the string responses for the topic. So if passwords typed and so forth, like it fetches the methods of get password info, get privacy info, and so forth. And there's not much else worth noting here that has been changed. Here's the quiz related properties. So this is all the counters and setters being initialized here. As you can see, now you can understand the functionality behind the quiz questions themselves. So we have a public int difficulty, and this has been set at the last line of each question. It's difficulty 1 being the easiest, difficulty 2 being medium, and 3 being hard. As you can see, most of them are 1 and 2, but yeah, that's just about it. And the shuffle questions method is right here, and random range of numbers, and it's just being shuffled like that. Okay. Other than that, there isn't much. There is some logs that was also required for the activity log. This is most of the code behind it. So I do hope that that was a decent explanation of my WPF application. And I do hope that this has been modernized to a good standard, especially coming from a console-based application.